Greetings, welcome to another video segment on the Hows and Whys of Children's Church. My name is Pastor Timbaland Eric, and on today's segment we're going to be talking about planning out your children's church, talking a little bit about that, but we also want to talk about in planning it, how to plan it to be fun, fast-paced, and a place where children are learning the Bible, learning the Word of God in fun ways and not even realizing it. Isn't that the best way to teach, in fun ways? And in order to do that, let's talk about Sesame Street. I imagine most of you watching this have seen Sesame Street. I've lived in Asia, I've seen it in Singapore, I've seen it in Indonesia, and of course I watched it as a child in the United States. I think the first time I saw it, I might have been around 10 years old when I watched it. And so it's been around a long time, and it hasn't changed a whole lot. It is still a 1-hour program. Multiple inputs, usually around the same subject. For example, say today we're going to teach on the letter A, or the Sesame Street program is going to be on the letter A. And so we have a 1-hour program, multiple inputs on the letter A. Now imagine Children's Church, one topic, one theme, the love of God, or the first commandment, or one of the fruits of the Spirit, but taking one subject, multiple inputs. But on today's Sesame Street show, it is brought to you by the letter A. And so on the letter A, we see 5 minutes of a skit by Big Bird. Big Bird comes on and he's in the neighborhood and he's talking about the letter A. A whole video segment on the letter A. And so Big Bird goes through this, and about 5 minutes later it changes and we'll see Bert and Ernie come on. Bert and Ernie talking about the letter A. Hey Bert, is it A? Is it A? Bert and Ernie on the letter A. Come on Ernie. You get it. So Bert and Ernie do a puppet skit on the letter A. It's fun. The kids are laughing, but they're learning the letter A. Next we see Kermit the Frog and Miss Piggy talking about the letter A. I won't do a Kermit impression for you, and I especially won't do a Miss Piggy impression for you. But next we'll see Oscar the Grouch pop out of the garbage can talking about the letter A. Another input, we now have the Veggie Monster. Yes, you heard me right. It's the Veggie Monster. I heard recently that the Cookie Monster is no more. Let's take a moment of silence. God rest his soul. But seriously, the Cookie Monster is now called the Veggie Monster. I guess in America or wherever they make this, they're concerned with the obesity of children, or children eating junk food, or too many cookies, too many Oreos. And so they made him the Veggie Monster. I guess to encourage kids to eat more veggies. So we have the Veggie Monster, and he does a whole segment on the letter A. Next we see I can't remember the teacher or the head guy on there, but he comes out and he wraps up the whole thing on the letter A. A 1-hour program, multiple inputs on the letter A. Now, what do you think the children learned during that segment? Yes, they learned the letter A. They didn't learn all the alphabet, half the alphabet, or even ABC. They learned the letter A. It's the same thing in Children's Church. We take one topic, one theme that we're trying to teach. Often we call that a PowerPoint. It might be we're going through the 10 Commandments, one commandment. We don't teach 2 commandments, 3 commandments, 4 commandments, 10 commandments. We teach 1 commandment per week. So we have multiple inputs on that commandment. No other gods. And we'll teach a whole hour, or however long our children's church, centered around that theme. Hopefully making all of our inputs surrounding no other gods. Or it might be the fruit of the Spirit, the fruit of love. We talk about the love of God for 1 hour. Multiple inputs. And that's why a 5-year-old can sit in with a 12-year-old or 11-year-old and get something out of it. First of all, it's fun. It's fast-paced. You're keeping it moving. But it's multiple inputs. It's repetition on that theme, on no other gods, on the love of God. Whatever your theme is, whatever that PowerPoint is, multiple inputs, repetition, multiple ways to teach it on whatever topic you're teaching on. I've used this for years. I've seen that it works. Not only do you teach all about the letter, but you get some life application. You have everything. You could teach a memory verse on the love of God. Then you have life application. You have object lessons. You have Bible lessons. There's so much you can do to fill that hour with multiple inputs on the letter A. And at the end of it, what do the kids know? They knew the letter A. They'll know the love of God. They'll know the first commandment. Whatever you're teaching, I guarantee you, if you teach this way, they will remember. Let's go!